And joining us right now is a gentleman from the Bleacher Report, Mike Tanier. Mike, thanks for joining us here.
Always a pleasure.
I appreciate it. SMWW19 at Punch Bowl Social for this networking event. Great opportunity. Actually, the great Al Bushman and myself had the pleasure of meeting this gentleman last year outside of Burger Study. Great burgers there. And we were trying to pick his brain, but he had to get back to his hotel because he had some writing to do. So I'm very thankful that a year later we get the opportunity to catch up and talk. So you have been doing this for several years now.
Yes.
And of course, your website, I mean, everybody's got the Bleacher Report app on their phone right now. So I have to ask you, how has the success of Bleacher Report, how does it, correlate to SMWW?
Well, I think it starts with having a good base of knowledge in sports, whether it's football or any other sports, and in the industry as a whole.
Right.
And if you're coming into the media standpoint, you can't just be somebody who's like, well, I'm a writer, or I have to in love with words and things like that. You have to understand the sports from the inside out to be able to work your way up. And I find myself having to use scouting knowledge. I find myself having to use salary cap and business knowledge. Analytics was where I started, and I have to use my analytics knowledge. And that broad base is something you can get at someplace with SMWW, where you can work with some of the teachers here, like Mark Dominic, to get an inside look at general management, or Russ Landy to get an inside look at scouting. These things all come together and make you somebody who's marketable and able to kind of rise up to the top in the sports writing industry.
So you being one of these guys who just, every time I see on my phone Bleacher Report, I'm like, what they say. And even up until, the fact that we found out just today that Jason Witten's coming out of retirement to go back and play for the Dallas Cowboys. If someone wants to break into the media world, you're saying the best advice for them is be a scout first, or be an analytics person first, or build up your foundation so that way when you get to this point, Bleacher Report is a company that may take a look at you.
Yeah, there's got to be a level of expertise. I know people who came in with a law background, and they go from a law background, and goodness gracious, players get in trouble, owners get in trouble, etc. Having somebody with a law background that can come in and can write and can talk, gets you.
Owners get in trouble, you know nothing about that.
Okay, but that gives you something that you have no one else has. You come out and say, I got a sports journalism degree from a college, that's great. You can interview, you can write a little bit. You'll be covering high school field hockey for months, years. You'll be one of the first people cut off the back in an industry that's very cutthroat.
Right.
You say, I'm the one person who can come in and has such a detailed information of scouting that I can be the person who does an analytic breakdown of this. You can get your foot into the ground floor and make a name for yourself that way. I got a caponomics expertise that I can come in and I can explain some of the problems the Chiefs might be having with their salary cap, or why the Eagles have trouble keeping Nick Foles. You can bring that and you can be somebody who becomes a voice. And from there you can grow. It's a very difficult industry, it's a cutthroat industry, but it gives you sort of a brand and a handle you can hang your hat on.
All right, one last question, then I'm going to let you go. Best piece of advice you can give to everybody out there tomorrow about getting into this industry?
Network, communicate, get to know people. Sell yourself, but don't sell yourself in that weird used car salesman kind of way. Get out there and be somebody people want to talk to, that is interesting. Keep putting your face in front of people. Keep talking to them on the internet, respectfully, normally, as a person, and having a communication.
So no stalking, isn't it?
No stalking and no yelling and screaming at people.
Gotcha.
Do all those things. You build those relationships. This is all every business is a relationship business, but especially the sports industry, and that's how you can start. That's what you can do today to give yourself an opportunity tomorrow.
Awesome. And again, this is Mike Tanier from Bleacher Report. Looking forward to hearing you tomorrow, as always.
Wow.
Thank you for your time.
Always
I appreciate it, guys. SMWW, #SMWW19 at the Punch Bowl Social. Talk to you guys soon.